my friends, the day after +8. The day after +8. I read this morning an article about Sweden again and how did they cope with the coronavirus. It will take, the general conclusion is that it will take some time to draw the line below and see whose strategy was more clever and costed less. But the point of the article was essentially you cannot only count by the number of people directly killed by corona. You have to factor in also the depression caused by the economic consequences of corona. So the number of suicides, yes, as a practically consequence of corona, and the people that left jobless after this all restrictive measures, etc., etc. Not to say, how many families will be, the social burden, not only the suicides, but also the suffering of many families, etc., etc. So when you factor all this in, then Sweden, although the article says that they did make some mistakes. For instance, they did not have enough protective equipment in the homes for elderly people, because 50% of all deaths in Sweden caused by corona is attributed to these homes for elderly people, for pensioners, etc. But this was relatively easy to improve, to remedy not so easy, but had they did that, their statistics would have been much better, and then it would be much more obvious that their model was more clever than practically most of the rest models, or practically all of them, because there are, according to some of their statistical calculations, almost 40% of the population of their capital, Stockholm, has practically is now resistant because of they have built the immunity against the virus. So even if the second wave comes, the 40% of people with immunity will practically make impossible any type of pandemic. There will be some individual cases in the future as well, but the virus will not be able to spread. Whereas the other countries that did introduce restrictive measures, they do not have not even close these percentages of the population that has built the immunity. So when the second wave comes, who knows what will happen. Yeah, that much about it. It seems that the Swedes, and of course there is another criticism to the Swedish model, is they did not pay much attention to the refugee population. As you know, this population is quite high in Sweden. So the mortality rate with the refugees is also quite high. And now, of course, one would raise a question, not only for the refugees, but also for the elderly people, because the elderly people are also burdened to their pension system, etc. So one would raise a question, if they maybe didn't do it deliberately that way, that they didn't pay much attention to the protective measures in the homes for elderly, plus the protective measures in the refugee camps and the other areas where usually the refugees are located, etc., etc. So yeah, I mean, I know that when I'm raising this, I will probably also raise anger of some people that will say, no, by no means, the Swedes would not do that. Probably not, but somehow it flies in my minds. I mean, this, which I also pretty much suspect for the UK. For the UK, definitely. Actually, I'm pretty much sure that they did it pretty much on purpose to get rid of the elderly people. Not to mention the populations of refugees, etc., etc. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but yeah, somehow their national mentality is somehow indicating that this might have been the case. Be it as it may, driving the street Zaplanska, a relatively ugly neighborhood. I mean, quite ugly neighborhood, but I just need to go quickly to the shopping mall. Stadion. One more thing that happened on today's date, back in 1955. Back in actually 1948. One day after the declaration of the State of Israel, the Egypt, Jordan and some other troops have attacked Israelis from 3 directions, if I managed to understand well. This probably is referred to as the first Arab-Israeli war. Probably. Yeah. And in 1955, the Ally has allowed Austria to become again, the Allies, I mean, to become an independent state, because for 10 years after the Second World War, Austria was practically under the occupation. We can easily say the occupation, yes, of the Allies. And in 1955, on today's date, they signed the treaty declaring that Austria is an independent again. The parking of the Stadion shopping mall, not full, not empty as well. So and so, I would say. It usually it is much more full, but obviously, so yeah, it's Friday around 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, okay, thanks for watching and bye for now. Talk to you soon.